Well, well, well. Would you look at that? Mr. Hypocritical Pedophile himself has decided to talk shit about Corey and myself. Skewing facts to better fit your agenda, talking out your ass on topics you don't fully comprehend, and flat out talking out your ass because it makes you feel good. Well, buddy, you wanted this fight, so I'm gonna go Mr. Medicare on your ass.
If your hand hurts and it hurts real bad, or if you have feelings that are making you sad, then it's okay to cry.
Fucking goddamn hear people who fucking roleplay as like a bear or something like that. Do they really want to fuck a bear? Oh yeah, no, where's your video on Peter for being a cannibal?
On Peter?
Yeah. You know the
You
Vora
mean
file?
fucking-
The self-professed?
Oh, Aeon?
Yeah. Where's the no, I mean you got him on your channel, is that it? That the big difference? That a little different there? Huh?
Well, I mean, I've never heard of this.
It's
so fucking
straight up
cannibal?
oh, let's pull it up! By all means, my friend. Let me fucking goddamn
I
do
mean,
this.
sure. Fuck.
End of Dreams, Vor.
Oh, he's into Vor? Yeah, fuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
so are you calling...
I'm into Vor. I don't...
Okay!
Fuck
Well,
it.
you know what? If you're down with Vor...
But that's also not,
the stammering.
You know, maybe, ZD, if you want to call anyone a pedophile, you might want to wait till your balls drop. Furthermore, if you're under the illusion that dropping Vita or Medicare is going to somehow equal a win, let me cure you of your disease of hope. Some way, somehow. At the end of the day, you're KP's bootlick, ZD. Socially in the brony fandom, quite literally the bottom rung. Quite literally the bottom of the barrel. Let's take that into contexts. For 2 to 3 years, possibly longer, there was a reasonable excuse to work for KP. For old Snaggletooth. But in spite of all that, ZD here is going to expose the truth that KP is being unjustly bullied. You do understand that your lord and hero Vita was taking the piss out of KP light years before it was cool.
For the record, I will only be discussing the parts where he talks about Corey and myself. Whatever he says about Jack is Jack's problem. Though, I can assure you, Jack does not give a fuck.
As for Jack not giving a fuck, that's why he made 2 replies. Boy, Jim can retire now, knowing that KP's bootlick has it in the bag. What's more, you straight up told me that you talked Jack out of caring. So, even before 1 minute and 30 seconds, you already lied. Maybe freebasing helium has affected your mental functions.
Anyways, let's get right into it. At 9 minutes and 34 seconds in, he starts talking about us on his poorly edited How Not to Brony series.
And lastly, this is a former member of KP's staff, ZD.
First of all, it's not that hard to find my channel. You literally just type ZD, and it'll come up as the first channel, right above ProZD, as well as a few of my videos. That, or go to the channel list. But that's a minor thing. Whatever. You're incompetent.
A quick reply to finding ZD's channel name. I've had similar channels not show up, so I checked under KP's staff page, not being able to find your name there. Not saying you didn't work there, but it wasn't listed at the time that I made the reply video. But since you wanted to cite Vita, try typing his name into YouTube. Go type in Vita. There's an easy workaround, like many other things, which is why I typed in ZD Pony. I just naturally assumed a 2-letter channel name would no-show. As for getting that wrong, ZD, here's an idea. I got one KP bootlicked confused with another. I know one of you said you had moved on, which clearly, since you were still poking around and defending KP, it really doesn't look like that. So your big gotcha moment is, he used to work for KP. Okay, fine, me being unduly kind, I'm glad that you asserted that Wolf is indeed brain dead, and still working there. But as you said, moving on. We've had a discussion already on how they feel about the Lost narrator and Magpie, on how they claim Lost and Magpie have misrepresented KP. I've told both of them, Magpie and Lost, who, again, have made it quite clear that they just wish to be left alone. I double-checked with this Thursday, and I was told that seems to be the continued game plan.
It's not that we just think they were misrepresenting them. We also just wanted to talk to them about other personal matters. You know, the kind that you weren't given the green light on, but still told me fucking everything?
I talked to Magpie today, that being May 23rd. We're cool. We're not even 3 minutes in, and that's 2 fuck-ups so far. I told you they didn't want to talk. You still talked to them. Mag talked to me, and here it is. If KP or Rachel would like a stream call with Magpie 1v1, not some bootlicking toady, not some weasel, not some sneaky, sniveling, groveling little worm that might be adding some... Okay, maybe I added some adjectives there. Who can say? Point is, if KP wanted something done, maybe she should have got off her own ass and done it her fucking self. Mag told you herself she wanted to be left alone, and here you are. I could rest my case here. This boils down to you being a weasel. But hey, you're doing such a shitty job. It's funny you should compare yourself to Medicare, because this is more Destiny style. Just in case you two knuckleheads have somehow missed it, you have no bargaining power. Your former boss has no bargaining power. KP's last 3 videos are stuck around in the 4 digits. Her credibility is dead, shot, and gone in the fandom.
Actually, we really fucking do, but okay. Whatever you say, my guy. Also, how does view count relate to credibility?
Well, actually, my guy, nuh-uh isn't an answer. ZD is such a nice Tumblr name, by the way. Remember that, kids. When you're dealing with anyone whose name starts with a Z, you're gonna have a bunch of emotional appeals. KP originally, when the Anon KP links accusation started, a conservative one-half, let's say likely 3/4 of her fans, dismissed it. Here, I'll grab some view counts. So we have some analytics to go by and not just me going nuh-uh like ZD over here. After KP admitted fault, right here, her views began to take a nosedive. Now, I've covered how I feel, or likely that's a 3-part fault. The visible lack of content being published over a series of months. The fact she actually said she was at least partially responsible, but failed to give a legit, earnest apology other than a shoulder shrug with Anthony C. And naturally, there was the visible backlash in public from the Anon KP leaks itself. If you feel I'm being 110% lost and disearnest here, by all means, I would be glad to stream with you and debate in this matter, actually. Zachary, or ZD, has agreed, so that'll be something to look forward to down the road. By all means, I would be glad to stream with you and debate. Keep in mind, Zeb or Zachary or whatever, no one cares about your feelings. Try to have some facts to back up some shit. Your big come-out blow was how a man who donkey-kicked a cop car and got dragged out and maced is your beholden Lord and Savior.
Many mental problems. So they arrested me at school for bullshit reasons and later said that I wasn't actually under arrest at first, all despite me being in the back of a cop car. And like they were talking to my mom or something about it, who arrived. And suddenly, while still in a very insane state, I decided, you know what? I don't want to be in the back of this cop car. Despite being handcuffed, I just started donkey kicking the window. And the woman just freaked the fuck out. Like, oh shit, and started driving, like trying to get down the road to the police station. But before she could get there, the window just busted out and she ended up pepper spraying me. And I'm just standing there going, nope, you're within your rights. No, you're just doing your job. I had to do it, you know. No, I understand. I'm just going to sit here now.
Okay, you're currently on what kind and how many meds?
I used to be on 2, but right now I'm taken down to 1, which is Seroquel. It's extended release. I take it before I go to bed, and it goes out overnight, keeps me asleep, and then a bit into the morning, and it stays with.
By that standard, you'd be just as fucked as her. You make videos in the 4 digits all the time.
I like how you omitted view to sub-average ZD. 126,000 subscribers, ZD. She was averaging into the high to low thousands. 4 digits. That being generous. You might want to throw in calling me a pedophile a few more times since you have nothing else to offer here. Vita totes feels that way, despite not establishing it medically or legally. You cited how someone felt, Zeb. That's called Tumblr logic. Speaking of view to sub-average, you have 3,300 subscribers. You'd have to go back 2 months to your podcast with Aeon of Dreams and Lightning Bliss. But hey, since we're going to count RP with consenting adults, are you going to have a video revealing that Peter's into cannibalism? We're not going to do that? Is it just because, I mean, if it counts here, it should count there, right? I understand that it's just a role play, and I understand that what Peter does is between two consenting adults, and I only bring this up because he has vorophilia on his channel. All I'm asking for is consistency, ZD. We all know that you cited Vita hoping that should scare me from applying to you. Meanwhile, Lost and Magpie have both gone as far as to raise awareness about not only Performance Major, but Dusky Novel as well.
Yeah, they apparently missed someone in their pedophile hunt. They also seemed to miss a potential molester. But nothing time won't handle. Seriously, don't know why Vita and Jace didn't talk about this, but during the Buttons drama, she showed me that you made the comment, "I want to molest you," followed by, "I mean it in a loving way," and then deleted your comments. Jesus fucking Christ.
Zep was not exaggerating when they say that people have been very unwilling to listen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying it was abusive. It all really hurt, and it did feel like abuse.
So tell me, ZD, who in the brony community agrees with you? Showing screenshots of me ERPing with adults, my ex-girlfriend, isn't going to get you any closer to winning this argument. You're trying to low-key blackmail Magpie and Lost. Try again, Squeaky. She told me she didn't like the comment, so I removed it. And don't worry, ZD, none of your girlfriends, especially Chuck, is ever gonna say that they want to molest you. My ex recently apologized on recording.
You're such a fucking creep. Not to mention you're a pussy bitch who refuses to watch Vita and Jace's video. This was your response.
From the same video you covered where she said I in fact did not abuse her. And here you are, taking shit out of context. No wonder you wanted Jack to stop. You basically stole his gimmick. Except the fact literally several times in call, Vita assured me he wasn't going to cover me. It wasn't about me, and he told me not to worry about it. He lied to me about it several times. I'm talking to you, motherfucker. I squeezed out a lazy-ass reply to make sure I didn't offend Quillstroke, to make sure that I was still cool with all of my friends, person by person, and I lost one guy. I'll say that now. I thought Little Raptor was really cool. I think that's unfortunate. But his response was, I'm not going to give you a chance to talk because you'll sweet talk your way out of this. We're 4 minutes in, and so far you haven't shown me shit.
You're spineless. You can dish out shit all you like, but once someone fucks with you and you can't win, you never own up to it or try to defend yourself.
Well, I guess under your rules, you're pretty shit here because here I am. As for not owning up to or admitting when I fucked up, I made a video called a public service announcement. I accused one of Spoctor Theory's fans of blindly defending a pedophile, and in case you missed it, and despite having a confession that went up in smoke, I was in a stream with Vita called Joss Scorcher Lily Orchard Pre-Trial. At the end of the stream, I had Shiokami on, where I admitted what I said about her was tasteless and ill-informed, and Akami didn't have. When I originally said that she didn't have the right to stand behind Spoctor Theory, she did, and on top of that, she was right. And it fucking hurt to admit I was wrong, especially when you think that you got a motherfucker dead to rights. It happens. I kinda doubt you're gonna do that, ZD, but hey, I do like a good fight. I sure as shit don't have any connections to you, Zeb, so that's why I'm here. They've been model citizens in the community, and your big gotcha moment about the two, which is sadly now public due to my own idiocy.
There was no aha moment, dude. None. That entire conversation was us asking you to get in contact with Magpie and Lost for us so we could then talk to them. You kept giving us more and more information. You told us everything. You have no filter and no one should trust you for it.
Accuses me of not being able to tell the truth and then telling me I don't have a filter. So let me talk you through this. Vita, every single day, private messages that creepy reading, telling him to stop talking to me. And every day that creepy reading shows me this and laughs at Vita. I do have a big mouth. As for no gotcha moment, let's play a clip from that call, shall we? And let the audience decide if there was a gotcha moment.
Thanks for the transparency.
Yeah. Well, I was willing to trust old boy over here. You were kind of sort of half a dick. And I was like, now I'm going to click record. That, and I assume Sheldon's already doing it back up. What,
In
Lost
general,
Lost
if
in
they
Mag?
want to, yeah, Lost in Magpie.
How so?
If they want to go further into it, be our fucking guest. For those who don't know, Anthony, Shelly D, Corey, and myself were in a 30-minute call. He quotes stuff from this call every now and then in this video, but never mentions the fact he was an antagonizing little shit who was drunk off his ass and spilling the beans on fucking everything he knew. I'll be putting that conversation in full with minor things cut out for the sake of Lost in Magpie at the end of the video.
I told them, I talked to you idiots. I gave them a copy of the call along with Wubcake, because she's cool. I even told Lost in Magpie that as well to the audience. Before I watched ZD's video, I got into a call with Magpie. You know, the same person who refused to talk to ZD and Wolf. And yes, I was being an antagonistic dick to Ewall and Wolf and ZD. I was being an absolute little shit. I admit it. I don't like Ewall and Wolf. When I tried talking to him on Twitter, that being Ewall and Wolf, he blocked me. And then after I contacted him, alternatively, to tease him about what I knew about his boss, he came back running as fast as he could to find out what I knew. Wolf and ZD are shitty people who I talked down to. Actually, I said it at the start of my recording. I said I was cool with ZD, I just didn't like Wolf.
God, Skype's updated and shit. How the fuck do you add people to calls now?
Drag and drop.
Oh, well, fuck me then.
There's that plus sign there at the bottom of
This is one thing we want to see. Do you have them all saved?
Why?
Because
Well, me and V.
After your boy came in, I did click record after he came in, so I have proof that I am trying to talk peace with you right now.
No, I got you.
Okay.
I assumed we were going to be recorded anyway, but thanks for the transparency.
Yeah. Well, I was willing to trust old boy over here. You were kind of sort of half a dick. And I was like, now I'm going to click record. That, and I assume Sheldon's already doing it back up.
Also, ZD, let's call this into question. You said you weren't going to say shit about me, and I want an answer about this. I think all your fans deserve to know this answer. Does that mean that you consider me a pedophile, and totes would have kept your mouth shut about it if you got the proper respect? Christ, you really are as bad as Jack.
I'm streaming because fucking my main man Holmes over here called me out here. So I noticed I noticed something in your video where you said, now if you wouldn't have called me out, I wouldn't have said anything. Now, ZD, if you thought I was a real pedophile, you have a duty and responsibility to come forward about that sort of thing. That's kind of disgusting and short-sighted on your side.
Hey, that's not my place, and I believe Buttons has already discussed that with me.
She's going to look like a jag-off. Like you've never believed. My God. That'll be the end of it.
I would not exactly say, because
I would.
That's a pretty fucking... Okay, no.
Totally
Seriously,
would.
hear me out on this.
I just dated somebody like that. Fuck you.
If she is actually
Sheldon,
at
did
that
I?
point... Well, if she was actually at that point, that's pretty fucked up either way.
There are people who seem to get to that point a lot easier than others, friend.
Maybe, but...
Not maybe, I know so.
My guy, trust me, we've talked with Buttons too.
My advice to KP is that she should distance herself from these two former employees, as I've been told they've been hanging out in Vita Pony's chat, who's clearly just interested in stirring up some pointless drama. Now, you might call that beyond hypocritical for me to say that, but if you consider that KP's stance has been to distance herself from this drama with every breath that she has, my advice to her is consistent with her regular behavior. I'd encourage her to make a public statement that you two are no longer involved in her projects and you are not interested in having these two jokers back anytime soon.
Notice how he tries to group us with these people just so he can try to A, discredit us, and B, get KP to stop talking to us.
You know the same thing that KP tried to do to me back in the day? Oddly enough, because KP thought that Toon Critic talking to me was beneath Toon. This legit fucking happened. I covered this in How Not to Brony 22, June 9th, 2017. You want to talk about using sneaky tactics? How's about leaking out your video? How's about putting out a video where you call someone a pedophile not based on any kind of medical or legal research? None. because he counted on the fact I didn't respond to Vita, and then thought some way, somehow, maybe I wouldn't respond to him and he'd get a pocket victory. Oh, buddy boy.
First of all, Corey is still on the team, and has been for about 2 years now. Would you like to jump in and talk about some of this, Corey?
I can't get out of this chair. It's not my time. Plus, my legs are asleep.
First of all, why do you talk like William Shatner?
First of all, Corey is still on the team.
Fantastic. I'm debating with a space communist now. As for Ewall and Wolf, I guess unlike you, ZD, since your boyfriend bowed out, I have to take that for a time being. I'm sure it won't be the last time I hear of Ewall and Wolf.
As for myself, I'm just a friend who has no tolerance for bullshit. But we've actually helped fix several problems for her with our work, so there won't be any distancing anytime soon. Secondly, Corey and I are in that chat as a neutral party to both hang out and maybe give our 2 cents when discussing drama. Plus, Vita, Jace, and even Shelly have given us ideas to help KP out that she has even agreed to and is working on implementing as we speak. Nice try, though. Keep it up. Keep saying shit that has no base to it.
Dear KP, if you're watching this, ask ZD if he's gonna put Sheldon's penis in the picture for a fraction of a second like Sheldon originally intended to do when he tried out to work for you. Just a free heads up, Rachel. Aside to the audience, Sheldon, Vita, and Jace got thrown out of KP's Discord. I'm sure ZD will argue which one it was. Vita simply bragged to me about it about the same time that he was making a video about me, where he bragged about raiding KP's room. Okay, maybe raid isn't the right word, it's just the one he used, but he was in there with Jace and I believe Sheldon talking about feminism over MLP themes. I don't know, trolling. Doesn't matter. CZD, you're kind of a sneaky, shitty backstabber. Really, someone should tell Rachel that this guy's going to be Bubsy 2.0. Just remember, don't say I didn't warn you. As for sabotage, my big damage is getting you thrown out of KP's team? And all the doors and privileges, that closes off? Also, I'm 7 minutes and 41 seconds into your video. Your big takeaway in editing is having a couple of poses for your OC. This is the extent of your effects. Groundbreaking. I might have problems with Vita and Jace, and I'll concede that you have a tighter product than I do, only because I don't add my OC poses for my drama videos, typically. And that's about it. You do more work for, well, more work's sake. Maybe if you brought some facts to back up your sophistry, maybe you'd be able to work harder, not smarter. I know you two desperately, more than anything else, want a response from Lost Narrator and Magpie. But as far as that goes, you're going to get me at best. And I'll be there with bells on.
The best part about this is that he's talking out his ass. Not only did you tell Corey and I that Mag wanted us to contact her, but I've already spoken with Magpie, and have even come close to fixing some of the problems between both parties. You literally have no idea what you're talking about.
So we're 8 minutes in, and you got one in. It took Jack 9 minutes to get one of those in, so hey, slightly better than he did. As after I floated your information by Lost Pitter and Magpie, Magpie said that she'd talked to ZD and company. And yes, I did suggest it was a bad idea. Mag and Lost still don't want this brought up here. Here's where you two are thirsty as shit to talk to them.
You want it out, is how I'm understanding this.
No.
Then
honestly,
why are you poking the bear, man?
Either way, we could not give a shit.
Quote-unquote trying to fix things. Also, ZD, Mag didn't appreciate you sharing her DMs. An AWOL, or a wall, or however it's pronounced, I look forward to metaphorically checking that 24-karat glass ego of yours. It fills me with a sick feeling of wonderment and joy.
For those of you that want to know what Mr. Hypocrite is talking about, wait for the end of this video for the discussion that us four had.
Yes, Mr. Hypocrite, talking about someone being spineless and cowardly, and AWOL is next to nowhere in this video. Yes, I still very much am looking to break Wolf when he comes back to the battlefield, where he thinks I will be able to put up next to no challenge or not at all. Typical Vita trash. It only counts when other people are acting like dumbasses. I'm sure ZD's defense will be, well, I was joking. Speaking of which, Ewall and Wolf, that's one guy, as well as ZD, they've told me that Jaymore was all too happy to pass along private messages between himself and me. So as far as business goes, I feel it's my moral obligation to warn all future customers of JMore if they're expecting any kind of privileged communications with yourself and him. You are sorely mistaken.
Unfortunately, Shelly wasn't there at the time, but before the recording started, FNGR and I had a bit of small talk. I made mention to FNGR that JMore had given us some PMs that showed JMore was trying to become his editor, and it highlighted how Anthony can't type for shit.
Unfortunately, I didn't record that part of the call either. And yeah, I can't type for shit. ZD very merrily told me, oh yeah, JMore has been giving us everything that you've told him. I was going through some shit last week. I found out one of my friends turned out to be a pedophile, that being Dark Edge, and had some people press upon me to cover it. People that came from Vita's chat. And you, for whatever reason, chose and refused me talking to Vita to do a video about that. And you still, till this day, have refused to cover Dark Edge, haven't you, Vita? And seriously, ZD, you do know that Vita chided the fuck out of Toon's ex-friends for not coming out publicly about that, about his nonsense. Where is Vita's video on Dark Edge? That's a fair question. Back to JMore. But as for what I said to JMore, I'm letting you guys know that what you say to the man will likely end up in Vita's chat room. Now, if ZD said it was nothing major, that's not the point. If you hire JMore, and you're not worried about him blabbing about anything because you choose not to tell your editor more than they need to know, there shouldn't be a problem. There is, of course, this tweet here where Vita's actually thirstily looking for brony analysts' poses. I mean, I can't see where that would possibly blow up in someone's face. Whoops!
At least she fucking waited till, like, she actually had, like, either, like, bad blood or some shit like that.
At least when somebody tells me the reasons why KP would do something, I can, like, begrudgingly go, like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
FNGR, where the fuck is this coming from?
Yeah, like...
So this is where I'm confused. I didn't get you thrown out of anywhere. KP literally cost you a convention, JMore, which, granted, was a drive. I don't recall how many days you were going to be there. I warned people about hiring you as an editor, and somehow I'm worse than someone who physically had you removed from con. JMore, honey, I know what it's like to have feelings for a crazy bitch, but I let it go. You also do understand, ZD, talked about your obsessive behavior with KP. It might have been before or after the recording. I'll admit it. Myself and Jay didn't get along, but my personal advice to you, Jay, ZD is not your friend. He's the kind of guy who will smile to your face and cut your nuts off behind your back. I base that on how he treats you. But being a KP staff member, that apparently floats your boat.
Anyways, let's move on.
Back to Wolf and ZD. If you had any hope at all Vita is going to make a video defending your precious KP, let me cure you of the disease known as hope. He hates and despises KP, and he tried to expose her 3 to 4 years ago via Horse News, where Chalice simply wrote him off as a paranoid nut. Aside to Vita, yeah, I am challenging you to defend KP. I know you won't, cause I know no matter how bored or pissed off that you are at me, you aren't going to swim that far uphill to go after 2 people that you know absolutely nothing about, and you know this is actual garbage.
No. No, we really fucking don't. Are you kidding? Vita told us from the fucking start that he was gonna make a video on her and Jack. Do you really think we're that fucking dumb?
Yes, I do. However, in this case, I kind of think you're going into business for yourself. I keep telling people that ZD is Vita people. Not just Vita people, but Vita's people in a position where he can trickle information back to someone who can do the most damage. And you know what? I've done it. I can't be that mad at you about it, ZD. It's fun giving Vita a hand grenade. Well, till it's not. But yeah, ZD, if you weren't in on this one, I do think you would be that dumb.
Thing we've done is provide facts and screenshots for Vita to show KP and Jack's side of the story on topics of interest. This asshole loves to twist shit in manipulative ways that make it look like we're doing shady shit or that we're acting desperate.
Again, I talked to Mag, who was concerned about this video. That's as far as I can push out of respect for 2 friends. You can choose to believe me or not. And whether you do believe me or not, keep your eye on ZD. I promise you'll see his name at the center of ground zero sooner or later. But hey, if in 6 months nothing goes down, I'll apologize. Save this line. Timestamp it.
Being desperate. But he literally knows nothing. Nothing at all. What say you, Vita?
I'm starting to find this absolutely hilarious. He's been getting progressively more and more unhinged and paranoid over the years. Now that I've helped oust him as a pedophile, he's gotten even worse. If he sees two people so much as talking, he's gonna assume they're plotting something.
So let's talk about that. Dangerous and unhinged. The same man who cut off Pastel and Catstar because they sided with me over him. Who, once he got annoyed at Pastel, tried to get Pastel labeled a pedophile, who tried to label Dulcet Tones as a pedophile. But to Vita's credit, when all the Toon Critic drama went down, you know what, Vita? You did say that you'd let all this go to your head. By the way, Vita, however long it takes, thanks for gift-wrapping me your apprentice one-winged fusion. Flawed as it may be, you just left a gem laying around. Kinda like you did with Event Horizon. And I'm going to be glad to pick up everyone you leave behind.
Manufacturing drama where there is none. Most likely because my video hit him pretty hard with a label that, objectively, fits him, but that he doesn't want to be stuck with. Seeing no way out, he's desperately lashing out in an attempt to damage my own reputation to try to discredit me and prevent people from listening to me, because he's incapable of actually debunking anything I said in the video. It's the most hilarious, pathetic time of Anthony's life, and I'm enjoying watching every moment of his descent further into misery.
You do understand the reputation that you have is the one I gave you, Vita. No one blew you harder than I did simply because I didn't have an opportunity to do what you did first. I admit it, I got rattled. I haven't been de-invited from anywhere. Lilac Galaxy, many of your friends still talk to me. I hesitate to suggest that Sheldon agrees with me. Strongly hesitate. Based off what was said during the last time where I streamed with Jason Sheldon, Jace has basically admitted he just likes to fuck with people. Not that that's exactly new news. Leo, who's in top of the barrel, who pays both of us, has said that he has zero problems with me right now. The big, major, massive problem why I'm not arguing with Vita is, to have this argument, I would have to try and wreck Vita's reputation. I know what you're saying. Well, you're calling him a troublemaker. There was never an instance where he wasn't a troublemaker. There was no time where I could sit there and say and look you straight in the face where that wouldn't have been true. Now, in a community, in a reasonable one, where everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, I and Vita would not be needed. You can deny it, but again, if you don't think I have any value, I'm still waiting on that Dr. Fowl video, Vita. I said the same thing about Lily Orchid, or Jerry, or Lily Pete, or whatever you want to call them. I called Pete necessary, just like Vita is, because as much as it sickens me, as much as I can ride your ass for not having a Fowl video, without Vita, we wouldn't have known about Dark Age in the first place. Well, technically without Sheldon. You know what? If I can lump people together for negative reasons, I can't wash off some of the good things that the Vita crew has done. Yeah, am I rattled? It's not that hard to do. It's not hard to get FNGR or Anthony Aguilar to run around like a paranoid nut. Hell, just ask Kiwi Farms. Like, don't get me wrong. I miss Little Raptor in Limbo. He had a really cute, funny accent. I lose more friends just by hanging out with Rockamoo from day to day. As for feeding off my misery, I know you do. The drink is still waiting for you at Kona Grill at BC. And you know what? If you go, I'll know you'll have it, Vita. So yeah, Wolf, ZD, looks like you guys lose. I still do look forward to your video. I look forward to KP's name getting attached to your overwhelming failure and misrepresentation of the facts.
Love how he says we lose before we can make a response video. Or before he has the facts.
You mean sprinkling Vita's emotional appeal as your means by which to win? One of the few people, he says...
God, this guy is such a hypocrite. I don't understand why so few people respond to his poorly edited series. It's so fucking easy to dismantle the shit he says, yet here I am, one of the few people ready to fuck this guy over.
There's 6 to 7 videos put out there by the Alt-CC calling me out. Videos that got so high as 10,000 views. I can't help that the horse that you chose to back only got 2,000 views. But fun fact, Zach. And it's kind of funny when I called you Zeb. I didn't realize I was doing you a massive favor. Oh boy. Your video has a series of contradictions even in the first couple of minutes. Mag talked to you so that she could protect someone that she loved and cared about. Lord knows I've had to do it myself several times when dealing with Vita and his people. Vita isn't my first string pick to be the hero of the community. Despite him being a troublemaker, he's done the right thing in the worst situations. How do I explain Vita's current tirade? I had a discussion with Mintheart that every couple of months Vita blows up on me, and she said, "You guys have it out," and that's why I lost my shit on her. This is normally where I try and broker some kind of bribe or deal like I've done with Event Horizon or Winged Fusion or Vita or Dark Scythe or Dylan Thomas. I'm not offering you shit, ZD. You want proof you're a bum? You're the one who said I wouldn't respond unless you were weak. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. And if you have any questions at all about the call between ZD and myself and Sheldon yada yada yada, comments down below. I didn't bother listening to the call that was on ZD's video, mostly because I was there. If he took anything out of context, hit me up, I'll be glad to answer it. But yeah, I was plastered, drunk, and yeah, I probably would have treated Wolf like shit even if I was sober. At least I hope I would have.
Downright morally fucked up, especially considering they were abused previously in their life. All
right, ZD, are you suggesting that I specifically asked to do it because I knew that my girlfriend at that time would have a negative effect to it?
Fucking yes!
Believe that way about me. How do I convince how you believe and think? You're not being logical, and I can't fucking win that.
How am I not being logical?
Because you said that you're like, I totally think you did that. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. I can't tell you what to believe, motherfucker.
I didn't think anything. It's in fucking...
Okay, I will ask you again, motherfucker. At the very fucking goddamn beginning of this, do you think that I specifically said something that would make her feel icky? Intentionally. That was the intent, is what I'm asking here.
Intentionally?
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying it was abusive. It all really hurt, and it did feel like abuse.